What's going on, everyone? This never-ending topic on Assassin's Creed, right? And I've been having a bunch of ignorant comments, but I say about 96, 97% have been positive. You always have to have people that are going to come in, they're not going to like that. And it's the same type of people every single time. People who are easily victimized. And just let them, because like I said, I say all the right things, I do all these videos, and then they go back to the same mindset every single time. And it just blows my mind, just, how asleep some people are. But Smash JT right here, who I originally did my first react ever, back when this first came out, is covering something right here, how Ubisoft is making Yasuke gay and Japanese government contemplates taking action. We're going to get into that. And I just want to let people know, like, what I said about that fake historian. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Like I said, the guy used to be a part of the Communist Party, and the people that own the company that he's with, if you guys want to look into that, all support this nonsense. The DEI agenda, the woke agenda, the liberal agenda, and he's paid off. So people can sit there and argue and try to make all these things about it, and they think because some people have some titles or degrees that means that they're trustworthy. They don't mean anything. You know how many people in politics or in corrupt positions have that too? That doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean that they're trustworthy. They are definitely viable to corruption, and a lot of them are corrupt. The world is full of corruption. And I can't understand how some people think because somebody went and got a degree somewhere that means all of a sudden that they're Jesus and they're 100% trustworthy. You know what I mean? And it just blows my mind how ignorant some people are. So many corrupt people are in high positions with degrees. That does not mean anything. You have to be just completely ignorant to believe that crap. So that's all I'm going to say on that. I'm not going to even go too far on that. But let's go into what Mr. Smash JT is saying here. And let's do some reacts here and get into this.
Just when you thought Ubisoft couldn't screw up Assassin's Creed Shadow even more, they made Yasuke gay. Yeah. I mean, I guess it goes in line with all the DE.
So all of you that are supporting that too, are you okay with this? Because like I said, that was not in the 2 pages of history on him. It doesn't exist. It's just a lot of stuff made up here. Let's go ahead and make that 1080p.
DEI stuff that they try to do, but holy crap. Could we be more tone deaf to screwing up what historical actions used to happen? Of course not. It's Ubisoft. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. Assassin's Creed Shadows is in the news once again with not only making Yasuke gay and enabling him to have same-sex relationships, which I get it, Assassin's Creed games have had same-sex relationships in other games, but I mean, holy crap, could we be a little bit cognizant of the surroundings and the historical magnitude of feudal Japan? Of course not. This is Ubisoft. They want to make their game their own, and they will change history to ensure it matches what happens. Oh,
so you see what he's saying, changing history to match what happens. It's not just a video game. The historians are defending us. That's bull crap. And they're getting people to try to focus on nonsense like the trend that was going on yesterday, whether he was a samurai or not. This is all irrelevant compared to the bigger picture. Small-minded people are going to get stuck on that and be mundane and be stuck on the mundane. They will never see anything past that. Do not waste your time with these people. I presented the best information along with other Japanese individuals in front of them, and it's all there. All they want to do is just see that, and they don't want to see anything else. They have low IQs and they're not that smart, so it's a waste of time. Anyone that only sees that and doesn't realize where the setting is at, how you even knew this person even exists, where that comes from, this is all in Japan, you are wasting your time. They will literally scroll past all the wealth of knowledge presented in front of them, all the deduction presented in front of them, all the wrong things that have been shown when it comes to Japan's history. On so many facets. We're talking about so much that could be shown to them. And they'll just go right back to that and say the same thing over and over again. You're racist if you don't want to support that he's a black samurai. That's it. And nothing else other than that little pea-brain mentality, and it doesn't go anything else past that. They'll even call Japan racist, who actually gave them that history. But yeah, it just blows my mind how dumb some people are, but at the same time, I'm not surprised because it makes sense. Let's continue.
When speaking of changing history, the Japanese government is not the biggest fan of Ubisoft right now, and they are contemplating taking action against Assassin's Creed Shadows because they're not big fans.
So you see what he's saying right there. Why would the government consider taking actions? You think they're looking at, oh yeah, this historian said that he was a samurai. Oh no, yeah. Like I said, that stuff's irrelevant. The bigger things are what we're looking at here.
Fans of how Assassin's Creed Shadows is impacting historical accuracy when it comes to Yasuke and what they used to know about him, and the 2 pages that were made about him have been turned into a gigantic novel of someone freelancing and writing everything about what...
See, only 2 pages. And let me tell you something. If you were a real samurai, you would be a threat. When Nobunaga was killed, Mitsuhide Akechi looked at Yasuke as a dumb animal who knew nothing. If you were supposed to be a well-known samurai in Japan, or you're supposed to be a samurai of high rank and legendary status, you don't think they would have came after him and killed him and wanted to take his head? You just let him run off. How could you not identify him if he was that much of a samurai? All of Japan would have known. Those masters who've been samurais their whole entire life that took down Nobunaga would immediately went from him. He just ran off. That's not what a samurai does. Like, it just blows my mind how ignorant some people are. Nobunaga would have made it known to all those people that this is a great samurai to be respected. Nobody even recognized him as a samurai and all of that. Where's people's deduction skills at? He just looked at him and it's like, oh, get out of here. You know what I mean? I don't even take you serious. He didn't even fight because he's not a samurai. He don't have any skill. It's all made up. It's all fabricated to fill up people's fantasies. When you got a 2-page history of him that doesn't say much, and then this guy Thomas Lockley, along with all these other people, turns it into a 400-page book. That's insane. He just made up a whole bunch of stuff. Not for somebody like me. Not for Japan, because they don't want to work with them, because they're the smartest race on earth, of course. No, for African Americans. It's the truth. That's what they see as dummy targets. That's why they did this. It's not for anyone else. Trust me. I like to speak the truth here, so let's get right to a point of matter. And look how certain people are reacting on Twitter. It's a shame. Look at these comments. Look at this ignorance. And it's exactly what they're doing. They're just puppeting and showing out all that ignorance and victimizing and brainwashing people. And it's coming right out. And then people who don't want to listen or reason and then support certain mindsets, that's what they want. This is what they're doing. It's perfectly aligning with the agenda that they want. We're not falling for any of this. You know what I mean? And then you try to help people out with certain information, they don't want to listen. It makes certain sense. This is exactly what they want, to put their hooks into certain people and get them to not listen. And they're not stupid. No, they know what they're doing. It's done on purpose. This is not new. This has been going on for a long time, just like with Black History Month and all this other crap. It's all bullshit. You got to realize whose land you're living in. It's not yours. You have to establish your own foothold historically. See how Japan is establishing their foothold? They want to attack that, of course, because they're not going to align with that. They want to attack whatever doesn't align with their foothold. Number one, in programming and development, video game development, look at the sales, look at the history of Nintendo, look at the history of Sony. Just look at the history of what Japan has done for the world. There's definitely, like I said, some inferiority, complexity here that's being presented. And then you have certain people that want to act like they want to fit in with that and be a part of that, when it's like, but that's not who you are. It's not real. Establish your own foothold and show that. And, you know, it just has to be talked about because there's just a lot of people being ignorant. And when some people get so ignorant, it's just time to hit them with the harsh truth. And you got to do it. Let's continue.
This person was because they want to create a game, and Ubisoft was going out of their way to find a black person, for whatever reason, to play a samurai in feudal Japan because they couldn't just have a regular Japanese person. They had to dig through the history books and find this.
This is what I'm saying. It goes back to, I can't stand how dominant the Japanese male is right now, even in our own society. Otherwise, why only do this to him and nobody else when you look at what's going on in society too? So let's insult him with what we think a race that will not see through this. And let's put on some hip hop beats. Let's make him gay. You see what I'm trying to say? You see what I'm trying to say here? And then let's give him the stolen Zoro sword. It's like saying, "This is how I see you. I know I'm going to victimize you. I know I'm going to brainwash you. I'm going to put something stolen on him to kill Japan with while playing hip hop beats." What does it have to do with Africa in the 1500th century? Man, do you not see that? That's literally calling you someone who disrespects other cultures, steals, kills, in the name of rap and hip hop beats. That's what they're doing, while victimizing and insulting Japan at the same time. So that's the real naked truth. And I'm just going to say it. Is at this point I'm tired of the ignorance, so it's just time to be honest and look from the eyes of the sun. Now let's continue.
This character and say, yes, that is the perfect person for our game? You've got to be kidding me.
No, it's an insult.
Hit that subscribe, give me a like, and check out SmashJT.com for the full article breaking down how Yasuke is now gay. If you want him to be. Because historical accuracy or something. Ubisoft's latest title...
Alright, let's keep this in mind. Yasuke didn't do anything to us. He's not even part of this ignorant culture. He's from the 1500 era. You know what I mean? From East Africa. You know, that's where he was from. Nobody has a problem with him. What the hell did he do to us? He didn't do anything to us. This is what they're doing with him. They're disrespecting the dead. That's bad to do. Anyone that's spiritually attuned knows you don't disrespect the dead like that. You don't mess around with the dead like that. You need to respect it. It's a realm. Like, you know what I mean? And, you know, these people... you know, I don't know what to say. Like... when it comes to just how far some people will go to use other people to insult another culture, like, you know, Japan here. Definitely a Japanese male. Like I said, he's not featured as a samurai, and he's not featured as a ninja. It's literally a masculine problem here, and it has been. This is very feminizing. This is very satanic. People need to wake up and see that.
Assassin's Creed Shadow has ignited quite the firestorm of controversy, and I've covered this quite a bit as we've gone along, and it seems to only be picking up speed as we go, with the Japanese government now expressing serious concerns over the game's depiction of Yasuke, who, according to Ubisoft, was Japan's first African samurai. And right then and there is a big problem, because many people in Japan would say, no, he was not a samurai, and that is not possible. Why are you trying to make this person a samurai when that is not what transpired? To which Ubisoft would reply saying, oh, we're just kind of making up our story as we go along. It's loosely based off of historical stuff. It's not actually like a real depiction.
You see what he just said? Even though, like I said, I still think that that's irrelevant. Even if he was, there still would not erase why Japan would be angry. Still not erase why making him gay is messed up. Assaulting Japanese culture. Editing Wikipedia to fit a narrative. Not featuring a Japanese male as a ninja or a samurai. Where every other Assassin's Creed game, every single one has had a male protagonist represent the region that he is in and have historical accuracy. There may have been some female aspects in some of those games, but they're represented in that culture, big time. This is the first time this has ever happened, along with so much other disrespect that is going on. And you don't even work with them on purpose. Allowing people fabricating other stuff. I mean, there's just so many holes all over this. People, they want to blatantly ignore that. Like I said, they're just ignorant. And you're wasting your time with those people.
Of that, so let us do our freelance writing on this and let us do our DEI injections, because we need to make the game the way we want to make it. The game is set in the Sengoku period, and it's come under fire for blatant historical
and you really got some people believing that he's an actual samurai that somehow was very, very talented in Bushido, and he could use this club right here on top of that while speaking fluent Japanese. And he was only with Oda Nobunaga for like 15 months. It just blows my mind, like, how naive some people are. Guys, look up how long it takes to become a samurai. How long it would take to be attuned in the art of Bushido. If all that was true, he would have been a threat to those other samurais. Except, Akechi just saw him as a mindless animal who knew nothing. He just told him go. after they took down Nobunaga. Oh, these guys were bright, and you know, in those times, man, the arts that they did, the amount of knowledge and wisdom that they had, the evil that they faced every day, you don't think that they would have recognized that immediately? Mm-hmm. He was just Nobunaga's pet. Like, it's, you know, let's just be realistic here. He may have given him a couple little titles, but at the end of the day, we're talking about, were you legit? No, it's not real. And I think everyone knows that deep down inside, that it's all bullcrap. And only ignorant people want to support that. Whether it's true or not, that's just what they want to see, while ignoring all real intelligent aspects that we're trying to point out here and what the bigger picture is. It is just quite obvious, and this is what they want. So that you can miss the bigger picture. It's called turning your mind towards and distracting you towards nonsense.
Inaccuracies, and now introducing same-sex romance options for Yasuke. A move that is not going down well with Japan, to say the least. Those DPI checkboxes may have met their match. Japanese gamers, as I said in my previous video discussing this, have already created a petition, and at that point in time, it was approaching 70,000 signatures. And now the Japanese Diet is taking a look at this because they're not a big fan of the direction of this historical inaccuracies. I mean, it's Japan. How out of touch, how tone deaf, how ignorant do you have to be to move forward as Ubisoft thinking that this was a good idea and that Japan and Japanese gamers and the Japanese government...
And Ubisoft has been losing stock value, just to let you guys know. Their stock has been going down. And today it went down almost 8%. Mm-hmm.
would not take issue with any of it.
It's the lowest I've seen their stock.
You've got to be out of your mind.
It's very
Mark
low.
Kern on Twitter quoted Learning the Law saying, "I can tell you that from my Japanese sources, Ubisoft has kicked the hornet's nest. Celebrities are speaking out about Assassin's Creed Shadows. Thomas Lockley is being scrutinized. This isn't about grifters complaining about a person of color in games. It's close to a diplomatic incident." And Learning the Law was saying, Assassin's Creed Shadow is now a national issue in Japan. Nippon Journal is exposing Thomas Lockley's lies, including his false claim about Yasuke being a samurai. Historians, newspapers, and the Diet are all uniting against this.
See this right here, Trent? There's no evidence that Yasuke was a samurai in Japan, despite this, Mr. Lockley. Going in. There's no evidence. So then they'll bring, this guy, you know what I mean? Let's go take a look at some stuff here real quick. Yu Hirayama. They'll bring somebody like him along, who came from a communist party, supporting left-wing liberals. Then they think that when the official people right here are saying no, and tons of other people, it's just one guy, you know what I mean? And they jump the bandwagon and then easily get moved like the horde, just like you see people do in politics. It just blows my mind, you know what I mean? It's like, there you go right there, just hordes of idiots. There it is, easily moved by something, because they know how to control them, and they got their hooks in them. They do. I mean, just look at it. Go look on Twitter when you see the trends. Search up Yasuke. Look at the comments. This is all they care about, all they want to see, and these people know that. That's why it's fabricated like this. And they're going to put that copy and they're going to go over support it. They'll buy like 5 or 6 copies. Easy tactics. And remember, the people who are making this are Caucasian if you want to blame them. But you think it's about a black man. Who do you think's making it? No black programmers and developers. They don't exist. Ain't doing nothing in the industry. Who's dictating all of this? Just like Miles Morales, who made them? All Caucasians. They're all doing this. Europeans. They're controlling everything. So what are you talking about? You're still bound and controlled by them. You're still supporting them. You think they're broke? They got plenty of money. Of course, everybody knows that. They're the richest people on the planet. So who are you defending? Yet at the same time want to blame. Blows my mind.
this distortion.
Do you want to
of
attack
history.
Japan?
It may soon become a governmental matter. And for those of you who aren't familiar, Thomas Lockley was the guy that pretended to be the expert in the field of Yasuke and all the samurai fights and everything that happened and transpired. And he was caught changing history, Wikipedia, resources, all this information to fit the...
Why do that if the history is right there to show you that he was? There's no reason for that. It's right here in front of your face.
The agenda of the narrative of this game. And once he got caught, instead of coming clean and apologizing, he disappeared.
He disappears.
Without a trace. This guy was completely embarrassed. One of the central issues to all of this madness is Yasuke's portrayal as a legendary samurai, which critics are arguing is not only inaccurate, but also extremely disrespectful.
Like I said, if you're going to be a legendary samurai, you're running around dusting off everyone. Everybody knows you because you're legendary. Legendary means they know, that this guy's legendary. Meanwhile, Nobunaga, who's legendary, dies. Mitsuhide, Kechi, looks at him. Oh, he's just a mindless animal. Get out of here. We don't even recognize you as a samurai. Yeah. Shut the fuck up.
To Japanese culture and real samurais that existed back in the day. The game's depiction of common death and decapitation scenes had been particularly offensive to many Japanese gamers.
If you ran around doing that, everybody would have known you disrespecting Japan in those times, how lethal they was back in those times, how intense it was to even go around. They would have recognized some large colored person that's running around in armor decapitating Japanese samurais. Who is this guy with this type of skill? Like, you're just going to show up doing that? No, he would have been slaughtered. So many masters would have came out and took him out. They would have seen that as disrespectful. They're very prideful people. You see what I mean? Use your intelligence here.
Gamers. Inquiries have been sent to several ministries questioning the government's stance on Ubisoft's portrayal and its potential impact. The aid has stressed the importance of accurate historical representation and the dangers of spreading misinformation worldwide because they don't care about your DEI agenda. They don't care about your narratives, your checkboxes, your investments from BlackRock. They care about actual history. They care about...
You see, investments from BlackRock. The historian you're talking about? That's what he's a part of. They support DEI agendas and support by white liberals.
Preserving what actually transpired, and their concern is Ubisoft is taking this 2-page letter that they had of what Yasuke was way back in the day and saying, yep, we're going to elaborate on this and just have our consultancy touch on making sure that we have representation, diversity, and inclusion in a game that literally has nothing to do with any of that. And DEI is bad enough on the surface alone, but then you start including the same-sex relationships that you have during these kind of games, and now it's been reported that Assassin's Creed Shadow introduces same-sex romance options for Yasuke. And on the surface, with Assassin's Creed, it's like, whatever. Any game does that. But in the context of what's going on and everything we have known with how Japan's all pissed off about this and how they're completely obliterating the actual history of who Yasuke really was, to add this on top of it is just like a cherry on top of a shit sandwich. Ubisoft's associate narrative director Brooke Davies explained that players can explore various romantic relationships, including same-sex options for both main characters. And Joe Raptor on Twitter expanded on this, saying that there should be more developed relationships, a chance to get really close to people compared to previous titles. Yikes. Like, what are we doing? I keep taking a big step back from all of this and being like, I feel like we've gone too far. It was cool.
They have gone too far. And they're allowed to do it because people are going to support it.
To play games and explore relationships and things you couldn't really do in reality. But now we've gotten to the point of we're basing games lightly, if you're Ubisoft, off of historical events, and then taking some creative design choices to change it completely to fit a DEI agenda and completely shoot to shit what the actual history was, so that moving forward, not only will the game remind people of what actually transpired and incorrectly make them think that's what it was, but the Wikipedias were changed. The historical accuracies and data was changed to fit the narrative of this game. It's a big problem. The Japanese...
It's a huge problem. Why are you messing around with real life history? without the consent of the culture's history, which is Japan. I don't understand how just even that alone just literally throws everything away after that. There is no way you can ignore that. If you are, then yeah, I just don't have much intelligence.
The government has yet to take any specific definitive actions, but it is closely monitoring the situation and it could change at any moment. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs indicated, and I found this out from thatparkplace.com, great job John Trent covering all this, that while the game is currently viewed as a private entertainment product, the issue could escalate if misrepresentation persists. Ongoing reviews and discussions are determining the appropriate response. This is a huge, biggest thing in the world, serious issue. Like, I don't think people really grasp how big of a deal it is. Ubisoft is just steamrolling forward with their agenda, pretending blah, 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 like nothing's actually happening. When in reality, if Japan and Japanese government takes major issue with this, up to and including canceling and preventing the game from being released there, then there is an international issue that gets created from that. And I could only imagine how the situation grows and explodes from there. Ubisoft's
That is very important because we need to realize the region. I got to be the first game ever rejected trying to focus on a certain region that didn't involve this male protagonist to represent his region either. Like, it's not only that, but that puts a huge dent on them. This is why their stock is falling, because a lot of people are worried. And this is supposed to be a huge holiday game, but they just made too many mistakes. And a lot of leaders are not happy with them. That's why those stocks are being pulled out.
Assassin's Creed Shadows has somehow found a way to piss off everyone. Well, everyone except those DEI folks. It's a false portrayal of Yasuke, drawing sharp criticism from not just Japanese officials, but Japanese gamers, and hell, even American gamers. I'm not liking how they're doing this. Gamers worldwide are looking at this being like, what the hell are you doing? Like, preserve historical accuracy, or here's a crazy idea, make your own fantasy world and live in that one. But don't cross the streams and then change history. That's where there's a major issue. The historical inaccuracies are bad enough, but the introduction of same-sex romance options for a real historical figure have made waves even worse. As the release date of November 15th, 2024 draws closer, the potential for diplomatic fallout remains ever present. Ubisoft's handling of Yasuke's story highlights the challenge of balancing unnecessary...
And also, like, if you're supposed to be a samurai, nobody should have to give you a sword. You should know how to wield one and have your own, and could have had one made for you. I mean, there's just so many holes in all that nonsense.
DEI with respectful and accurate portrayals of historical figures and cultures, or in this case, let's be real, a DEI injected nightmare to push a narrative and ensure diversity and inclusivity, even when it's not welcome. And that's kind of not just how I feel about this, but the general sentiment.
Yeah, it's not DEI either, because you're not including the Japanese male. You're not including Japan when it's supposed to finally hit there. They're the only ones that are not represented in all your games. And then when you get to that region, you completely disregard it and put a female character, DEI, and a colored character, DEI. Woke. These are feminists. Woke.
In the video game community right now. It's a problem. A problem that I would argue Ubisoft needs to address yesterday. Like, they keep going. Uncontained, uncontrolled. They're just doing whatever the hell they want to do, and no one's stopping them. And I have a feeling it's going to end very poorly. I'm going to leave it there. If you guys want more information, check out SmashJT.
You see, I like this guy because he's getting right to the nitty gritty. And this is why I reacted to him the first time. It's literally showing you what the issue is here. And there's people that just don't want to see that. They still want to stick to only what they see. And they don't hear anything outside of that. It's a dangerous way to live. Nobody's going to grow that way. And you'll always be last place if you stay like that. But like, subscribe. You guys like the type of comment. I know some of this could probably seem like it's provoking some people. But go read all my videos and then read the comments and see for yourself. My comments are open. Like I said, I'm going to be speaking the truth now and be a little bit more aggressive. because I'm tired of ignorance coming on my coming on my page, insulting me, and also on Twitter. So it's just time to tell the harsh truth. There you have it. All right, y'all. Have a good day, night, wherever you're at around the world. Peace.